Yes, we are holding where it says Maisa. The first word on the line is Lismaich. It's about 10 lines into the daf. Maisa Shabo Bonav. The Gemara goes back to the Mishnah here. The Mishnah said a story. What was the story in the Mishnah? That the children of Rabbi Gamliel came after from a Beis HaMishta, from a meal, and the question was whether they can say Kriya Shema after Chatzos. So Rabbi Gamliel told them that you can say Kriya Shema until Alois HaShachar. That's basically the story. Frag the Gemara. Va'ad hashte. Now, until now, Leishmielu Hadar Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Gamliel's children did not know the opinion of their father, that you're allowed to say Kriya Shema until Amud HaShachar. What was their question? And for the Gemara, Hachi Ka'amrile, this is what Rabbi Gamliel's children's question was to Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbanan pligi lavech. The Rabbanan are arguing on you, right? They knew that the Rabbanan had a different opinion. They said you could only say until Chatzos. And v'yachid v'rabim alocha karabim. The rule always is that when you have a minority opinion and you have the majority opinion, so you pass on like the Rabbim. So therefore, maybe we have to follow the opinion of the Rabbanan, regardless of what our father's opinion is, and we can't say Kriya Shema past Chatzos. Or perhaps, Rabbanan kevaseich svira lahu. Maybe the Rabbanan agreed to you that minat Torah you could say Kriya Shema until the morning, until Amud HaShachar. V'hai de ka'amri at Chatzos, and the only reason Chachamim said that you could say it only until Chatzos, kedei laharchik adam min ha'aveda, to keep a person away from an aveda of forgetting to say Kriya Shema. That was their question. They wanted to understand the opinion of the Rabbanan. Amalahu, so Rabbi Gamliel answered his children, Rabbanan kevasis v'iralahu. The basis of the opinion of the Rabbanan is like my opinion, that you could say it until the morning. And therefore you're obligated to say Kriya Shema. They only said Chatzos is takanim of the Rabbanan to keep a person away from an aveda. So that was a discussion between Rabbi Gamliel and his children. So based on this, the Gemara will now explain the next part of the Mishnah. The Mishnah continues. The Mishnah continues and says, this is not the only case that Chachamim said that you could do only until Chatzos, but there are other cases, as the Mishnah brings. So the Gemara asks the question, Rabbi Gamliel, Mika Amar at Chatzos. This is Rabbi Gamliel speaking. Did Rabbi Gamliel himself say here regarding Kriya Shema that you could only say it until Chatzos, the Ketani v'loi zubel vad amru? That he says that this is not the only case that you could do until Chatzos, there are other cases as well? According to Rabbi Gamliel, Kriya Shema could be said until the morning. So what's the pshat of v'loi zubel vad? So the Gemara answers based on what we just learned before. Hachi ka'amalu Rabbi Gamliel lebane. This is what Rabbi Gamliel told his children. Afilu l'Rabbana de ka'amri at Chatzos. Even according to the Rabbanan, he's speaking according to the opinion of the Rabbanan, because as we said, that's what the whole conversation was about. Even according to the opinion of the Rabbanan that say the Ka'amri at Chatzos, that you could say Kriya Shema only until Chatzos, mitzvasa sheyala Amud HaShachar. The mitzvah minat Torah is until Amud HaShachar. V'hai the Ka'amri at Chatzos kedei laharchik adam min ha'aveda. As we said, so this is not only the mitzvah of Kriya Shema, but there are other mitzvahs as well this way. Okay. Now the Gemara goes to the next section of the Mishnah. Hekta chalavim v'chulo. The Gemara brought an example of burning the fats and the pieces of the carbon on the mizbeach all night, and then it brings the din of eating the carbon all night. So the Gemara says that the mitzvah really is it can be done all night. Help him out with. There's a place right over here, Rabbi Taber, if you want to come sit over here. He's not going to be able to get the chair off. Hekta chalavim ve'varim. So the Gemara is medayik. V'ilu achilas psachim loiketani. The Mishnah here does not bring an example of the carbon pesach, that the carbon pesach can be eaten also the entire night, and then there's a gzeira that it should be done only until Chatzos. That's not brought as an example over here. Frag the Gemara vera minhi. So the Gemara asks a question from another brayse that discusses the same topic, and over there it does bring eating the carbon pesach as an example. Kriya Shema Arvis, saying the Kriya Shema at nighttime, v'halal b'leilei psachim, and saying halal the first night of Pesach, v'achilas Pesach, and eating the carbon pesach, b'mitzvasan at sheyala Amud HaShachar. The mitzvah of these things could be done until Amud HaShachar. Right? But till here, that's what it says there. So these are examples of things that the mitzvah minat Torah is that until Amud HaShachar. So in this Braisa, it brings the example of Korban Pesach and also the halal of by Pesach. But in our Mishnah it doesn't. What's the pshat? Amar Rav Yosef loy kashya. There's no question from what the Braisa says to what our Mishnah says. Ha Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and Ha Rabbi Akiva. This is two different opinions. Our Mishnah is going to be Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, and the Braisa is Rabbi Akiva. The Tanya, we learned in a different Braisa, and here the Gemara is going to go through a discussion regarding Korban Pesach. V'achlus habasar balayla hazeh. You should eat the basar of the Pesach balayla hazeh, and this night. That's the words that it says, balayla hazeh. So what exactly is the zman of balayla hazeh? Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah imer nema kan balayla hazeh. We learn a gzeira shava. Here it says balayla hazeh. V'nema lahalon, and it also says later on va'avarti beretz Mitzrayim balayla hazeh, which is the pasuk that talks about makas b'chayris. Mala alon at chatzos, just like over there, balayla hazeh refers to chatzos. Afkan at chatzos. So to here, the eating of the Korban Pesach is only until chatzos. That's Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah's opinion. Regarding the Korban Pesach, it says that you should eat it in a hurry. So what does Rabbi Akiva say? What does this mean? You can eat the Korban Pesach until the time, which is the morning, when the Yidden were rushing to get out of Mitzrayim. So you can eat it until Amud HaShachar, till the morning. So according to Rabbi Akiva, why is the pasuk saying balayla? So balayla is teaching me something else. I would think the Korban Pesach is similar to other karbanos, that you could eat it during the day, right after you bring the carbon. Any carbon, right after you bring it, you could begin eating it at daytime when the carbon was brought. So here the pasuk says the Korban Pesach may not be eaten by day on Erev Pesach, but you eat it at night. You eat it at night and not by day. So this is the argument of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and Rabbi Akiva, which are the two opinions of our Mishnah and the Braisa. So now the Gemara will go into greater detail to explain the source of their machlokes. It's well understood according to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. He clearly brings a gzeira shava that teaches me that it can be eaten only till chatzos. So we understand what that word hazeh is doing there, because it's that word hazeh that makes the gzeira shava. Balayla hazeh, balayla hazeh. El Rabbi Akiva, but according to Rabbi Akiva, hay hazeh mayavetle. Hazeh seems to be an extra word. What's it doing here? And for the Gemara, lemuti laila acher hudasa. It's coming to be memayit another night. Which other night? So I would have thought to say, Hoy Pesach Kachim Kalim, since Pesach is in the category of Kachim Kalim, Ushlamim Kachim Kalim, Korban Shlamim is also in that category. Ma Shlamim Nechalon L'Shnei Yomim V'Layla Echad. Just as we see regarding a Shlamim, that the time to eat it extends longer. You could eat it for 2 days and a night, the day that the carbon was brought, and the next day, right, and the night in between. Af Pesach, so too Pesach should also similarly have a longer time that you can eat it. Nechal shtei leilos, you could eat the Korban Pesach for 2 nights, and the Gemara explains, b'mokim beis yomim, instead of 2 days. You can't eat the Korban Pesach 2 days, because we established you can't eat it by day, the day that you brought the carbon, right? So you could only eat it the next day, and you could eat the 2 nights, the night after the carbon was brought, and the following night. V'yehei nechal beis leilos v'yehei mechad. And the Korban Pesach should have the length of time similar to a Korban Shlamim to eat it for 2 nights and 1 day. That's what I would think. Kamash Malam balayla hazeh. So the pasuk says va'achlu sabasa balayla hazeh, clarifying that balayla hazeh onechal ve'enechal balayla acher. It could only be eaten on this night, following when the carbon was brought, and not the night afterwards. That's the word of hazeh. But Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, how would Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah know this detail, that it's only the night following when the carbon was brought and not the night afterwards? The pasuk clearly says you may not leave over from the Korban Pesach till the morning. So we know it's only that night and not the following night. You may not leave over till the morning. Rabbi Akiva, according to Rabbi Akiva, why can't we learn it out from that pretty clear pasuk? And for the Gemara, if I would learn it from Leisesiru ad Baiker, have amine my Baiker sheni. Boiker could also be maybe it's the next morning. Maybe it's not the following morning. Maybe it also refers to the next morning following the next night. So it's still not clear enough that it's that night. But Rabbi Elazar responds to that, no, that wouldn't be a problem. Kol boiker rishonu. When the Torah writes boiker, it refers to that next morning following that night, not the following morning following the next night. So that doesn't have to be clarified. So we now understand what is the source of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and Rabbi Akiva's argument over here, the source of the psukim. So of course we paskin like Rabbi Akiva, but still our minhag is to be mahader, to eat the afikaimen even today by chatzais, following Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah's opinion, at least on the first night. Our minhag is at least the first night of Pesach we eat afikaimen by chatzais to follow Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah's opinion.
Then you could eat a lamb.
Yeah, you can if you didn't make it by chatzais. But we're mahader to eat it by chatzais like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Sagt der Gemara weiter, Vahani Tanoi, Kahani Tanoi. The argument of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and Rabbi Akiva here is similar. There's the same two opinions of other two Tanoim. The Tanya, it says in a Braisa as follows: Shom Tizbach as HaPosach, and then the Pasuk describes as follows: Be'erev, Kevoy HaShemesh, Moyet Seischom Mitzrayim. So there are three different time periods that the Pasuk tells me here. It says Be'erev, and then it says Kevoy HaShemesh, and then it says Moyet Seischom Mitzrayim. What's the pshat in this Pasuk? So here there's a argument again. Rabbi Eliezer says, Be'erev ataziveyach. When it says Be'erev, it refers to the time when you shech the Korban Pesach. So over here, Be'erev does not mean night, does not mean evening. Be'erev means Bein Arbayim, when the sun starts going down towards night. That's the time to shech. Be'erev ataziveyach. And then a Kuboya Shemesh, when the sun comes down and it's night, Ata Eichel. That's the time when you can eat the Korban. The time when Yidden left Mitzrayim, which is the morning when Yidden were leaving Mitzrayim, they prepared to leave Mitzrayim in the morning, and they actually left at Chatzais at the Seirif. That's when you'll have to burn anything that was left over. That's the first opinion. Rabbi Yeshua says Be'erev ataziveyach. Yeah, Be'erev means that you shech the korban for when the sun begins going towards night from after Chatzais Bein Arbayim. Kevoy HaShemesh, when the sun is down, when it's night, Ata Eichel. That's the time you can eat it. But then Rabbi Yeshua adds, V'ad Mosai Ata Eichel v'hoilech, until when could you continue eating? Ad Moyet Seischom Mitzrayim. You could continue eating until the time when you left Mitzrayim, which is the morning. So Rabbi Yeshua adds that detail that you could eat until the morning. So the fact that Rabbi Eliezer did not add that shows that he holds that you can't eat until the morning. So the assumption of the Gemara is, the pshat of the Gemara is, so what's the difference between Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Eliezer? Rabbi Eliezer holds you could only eat till Chatzais, like Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah's opinion. That's the difference between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua, which is, so therefore these two Tanaim are arguing like the same with the previous two Tanaim. Everybody agrees. Keshenigalu Yisrael miMitzrayim. When the Yidden were redeemed from Mitzrayim, leinigalu elo be'erav. The redemption really took place at night, by the time of Makis Bechiris. Shenemar, there's a pasuk that says, Haitziyacha Hashem lekachem miMitzrayim laila, nighttime. That's really when the redemption happened. But a kishayotzu, when did the Yidden actually leave Mitzrayim? Lo yotzu elo bayayim. They actually left by day at Chatzais the next day. The next day, following the day they brought the Korban Pesach, that's when the Yidden left Mitzrayim. So, what's the argument here between Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and Rabbi Akiva? So here the Gemara gives another source, another pshat in the basis of their machlokes. Al shas chipazon. How to teach the word chipazon? What is this? So Rabbi Akiva's source was the word chipazon. But now the Gemara says the word chipazon, which means the rushing, the haste to leave Mitzrayim, that could be interpreted in two ways. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah savar, my chipazon the Mitzrayim. Chipazon refers to the Mitzrayim. As soon as Makis Bechiris happened, the Mitzrayim came and were rushing the Yidden to leave Mitzrayim. So according to him, chipazon refers to Chatzais. Rabbi Akiva says, my chipazon the Yisrael. Chipazon refers to the Yidden that were rushing to leave Mitzrayim, which was only the next morning. The Yidden did not want to leave at Chatzais. It was the next morning that the Yidden prepared and were rushing to leave Mitzrayim. Tanya Nami Achi, we learned a similar thing in a Braisa. Hoitziacha vayelekacha mitzrayim laila. The Yidden went out of Mitzrayim at night. V'chiba laila yatsu. Did they leave at night? They didn't leave in the middle of the night. Avaha laila yatsu ela bayoyim. Shenama mimachras ha-Pesach yatsu b'nei Yisrael biyad Rama. Ella melamed. We learn from here. Shehischilo lehem gula mibarev. The gula begins at night when they got the permission and were being rushed to leave, but they didn't actually leave until the next day. So since we're talking about Yetzias Mitzrayim, the Gemara brings here another inyan that it said there regarding Yetzias Mitzrayim. Daber no ba'azni ha'am v'gaymer. The pasuk there says the Eibusha tells Moshe Rabbeinu, speak to the Yidden and v'yishalo ish meisre'eyu, that the Moshe Rabbeinu should ask the Yidden that they should go and borrow expensive possessions and all kinds of things, the gold and silver from the Mitzrayim. Amri de Rab Yanai ein no elo loshem bakosha. The pasuk used the term no, that they was just telling Moshe Rabbeinu that he should beg Yidden, he should ask them that they should do this. Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu leMoshe, b'bakasha mimcha, I request of you, leich amar lehem liYisrael, go tell Yidden and ask them, b'bakasha mikem, I ask of you, shalom in Mitzrayim, borrow from the Mitzrayim, kli kesef, kli zav, their silver dishes, their gold dishes. Why was this so important that you have to request this from the Yidden and beg from the Yidden to do this? So the tzaddik, which is Avraham Avinu, should not say va'avodum. There's a chair over there. There's a Gemara over there. Va'avodum v'inu oisam kiyem behem. That the Eibishter fulfilled what he had said in Bris Ben Absarim, that the Yidden will be in a nation where they will have to be there as slaves and be afflicted there. That was fulfilled. But then that the Yidden should leave with all the possessions and the riches of the Mitzrayim, that wasn't fulfilled. That's why the Eibusha has to beg Yidden to fulfill this. So, in other words, the pshat over here, the Rebbe in a Sikha points out the pshat in this Gemara. There's a very long Sikha about this inyan in a Sikha in Chelik Chaf Aleph in Parshas Shmos, where the Rebbe teaches a pshat, a detail over here in this Gemara, that mitzad the Eibusha himself, the Eibusha has to fulfill his promise. If the Eibusha gives a promise, the Eibusha has to fulfill it. It's not only because Avraham Avinu will have tainus because he didn't fulfill it. It's a promise the Eibusha fulfills. But it's mitzad Yidden. Yidden, will, as we'll see in a moment, the Yidden are not interested in this. They want to leave Mitzrayim. So mitzad Yidden, to motivate the Yidden, we're telling them, do this so that your great-great-grandfather shouldn't have tainus that this part of the promise was not fulfilled. That's the only reason why the Gemara uses this lashon. It's not saying this mitzad the Eibishter himself. You can look in the Sikha there, the Rebbe then has another pshat, a deeper pshat. Okay. Sagt the Gemara weiter. Omru loy, the Yidden responded to Moshe Rabbeinu. Olavai shenetzu batzmeinu. Halavai that we could leave from Mitzrayim on our own, without any of the riches of the Mitzrayim. For example, a person which is in a prison, and then people come to this person and say to him, tomorrow we're going to take you out of prison. And we're going to give you lots of money. This person responds to them, I beg you, take me out today. I don't need any of your money. Tomorrow, you tell a person, tomorrow I'm going to take you out of prison. Or tomorrow could be mocha achazman. Take me out of prison today. I don't need any of your money. So the Yidden were not interested. They weren't thinking about the money that they would get. Yeah, the Rebbe says an interesting thing based on this Gemara, when he gave the Sfiras Ha'omer, that the Yidden were told the B'sura that they're going to get Matan Torah while they were still in Mitzrayim. But yet they didn't start counting Sfiras Ha'omer only after they left Mitzrayim. So the reason is based on this Gemara. Because when they're still in Mitzrayim, even though they were told of this great gift of Torah they're going to receive, while they're in Mitzrayim, their mind is preoccupied about getting out of Mitzrayim. Only after they leave Mitzrayim and then they're out, then the tshukkah to receive the Torah was something they began counting for. Sagt the Gemara weiter, the pasuk says, Vayash Ilum. Vayash Ilum, so the Gemara here will teach Vayash Ilum means, and the Mitzrayim lent the Yidden the Kli Kesef and Kli Zahav. But the meaning of this word Vayash Ilum means they were made to lend it to them. They were sort of forced to lend it to them. That's the title of this word. Amar Abami Melamed Shesh Ilum Bal Korcham. This word teaches us that this happened against their will. So now the Gemara gives two pshatim against whose will? Against whose will was this? Ikkedamri, there are those that say, Balkarcham the Mitzrayim. This was done against the will of the Mitzrayim. The Mitzrayim weren't interested in lending Yidden anything. Vikidamri, and others say, Balkarcham the Yisrael. This was against the will of the Yidden. As we said, they didn't want to take anything. Mandama Balkarcham the Mitzrayim, Tichsiv, the Pasuk says, V'novas bayis techalek shalol. So this Pasuk is in Kapitel Samaches and Tilim, where it describes the Yidden leaving Mitzrayim there, the Kapitel there. So it uses, when it talks about the beauty of the house, or the things that the Yidden took out from the Mitzrayim, and it describes it as techalek shalol. It was like shalol. What's the word for shalol in English? Lut, which is something that you take against the will of the person that you're taking it from. So shalol over here is a description against the will of the Mitzrayim. Mandama Balkarcham the Yisrael, the opinion that says that it was against the Yidden's will. So the Gemara doesn't bring a pasuk for it, but it says just simple, Mishumasui. It's because the Yidden weren't interested in carrying the weight of all these things out of Mitzrayim. So this is an additional reason why the Yidden didn't want. Before, the Gemara said that it was psychologically. The Yidden were preoccupied with wanting to get out of Mitzrayim. Now the Gemara adds another reason, that Pashat, practically, they weren't interested in schlepping all of these things out of Mitzrayim. Vayinatzlu es Mitzrayim. The pasuk continues and says, Vayinatzlu es Mitzrayim. Then they emptied out Mitzrayim. Omer Abami Melamed Sha'asua Kemitzuda Sheim Ba'Dogon. This teaches us that the Yidden turned Mitzrayim into a Mitzuda. Mitzuda is a trap. A trap to trap any birds or whatever it is, where you place grain inside in order to attract the birds or whatever other animal it is into the trap. So the Yidden turned it into a trap, She'ein Ba'Dogon, where there's no grain there, empty. Reish Lakish gave a different example. Asua k'metzula she'ein ba'dogim. They turned it into a metzula, which is the depth of the ocean. She'ein ba'dogim, the fish are not there. The fish generally swim above or higher up in the ocean, where there's more food available for them, and not in the depth of the ocean. This is a famous Gemara which is brought in many times in Chassidus. It's also brought in Ois Yud of Basi Legani, which we're learning this year. And there he explains, why does the Gemara give these two different examples? What's the significance of these two examples? It's the same idea, that they basically emptied out Mitzrayim. So he explains there that it refers, of course, when the Yidden emptied out Mitzrayim, it wasn't stam that they took out all of their possessions. The objective of all of this was to take out the nitzaitzis of Mitzrayim. As it says, that Erev Rav Oluitam, 202 of the 288 nitzaitzis that we have to refine in this world were taken out of Mitzrayim. So the two descriptions that it says here in the pasuk are two different levels of nitzaitzis that relate to Alma de Skasya and Alma de Isgalia. The Dagon in the trap refers to a world which is above ground, which is on the open, exposed earth, which is a mashal for Alma de Isgalia. The Mitzula Shein Badogim, which is the sea and the ocean that's covered, that's a mashal for Alma de Skasya, a deeper level of nitzaitzis that relates to a higher, hidden world of Alma de Skasya.
Isn't the Taich of Reish Lakish seem to be more appropriate to the word Vayinatzlo?
Vayinatzlo, right, which is Mitzula. Yeah, you're right. Vayinatzlo, Mitzuda is, you have to exchange the lamed for a dalet. Sagt the Gemara weiter, another thing regarding Yetzias Mitzrayim. Eke asher eke. The Eibusha says, Moshe Rabbeinu, this is my name. This is the name you should tell the Yidden. Omalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe, Leichem Mer Lehem Yisrael, go and tell the Yidden, Ani Yisi Yemachem B'Shibud Zeh. I have been with you along this shibud, this time here in Mitzrayim when you were subjugated by Parai. And I'll be along with you, there with you and other times when you will be under the rulership of other kingdoms. So Amal Afana of Moshe Rabbeinu responds to the Eibishter, Rebbeinu Shalom, Master of the universe. It's enough with the tzara that they're dealing now in Mitzrayim. Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Eibishter agreed to Moshe Rabbeinu, and he said, Leicha Mer Lehem, Ekesh Lachani Aleichem. So he used only one time Eke, referring to the Eibishter being with them here now in Mitzrayim. A similar thing where you find a double lashon, although it's a totally different inyan. We had this actually before in the Gemara already. The Gemara teaches a double lashon. Aneini Hashem Aneini. Answer me the Eibishter, and it says again, Aneini, this is by Eliyahu on Hara Carmel, when he brought the carbon on Hara Carmel with the Nevi Abal, he says a double lashon. Omer Abavo, Lo Ma'am Eliyahu Aneini Beis Pamim. Why did Eliyahu Hanavi say Aneini twice? Melamed, Sha'omer Eliyahu Lefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This teaches us that Eliyahu Hanavi was asking the Eibishter for two different things. Rebbeinu Shalayla. Aneini, the first thing answer me, Sheteiret Eish Min HaShamayim V'teichel Kol Asher Ala Mizbeach. The fire should come down from heaven and consume the carbon that's on the Mizbeach. Ve'aneni, the second thing, answer me, shetasiach daitam, divert the attention of Yidden, that they shouldn't have the mind to come and argue, this fire is kishuf, and it's not a sign from heaven.
Didn't we see this before?
We just said this.
Yeah, we had this earlier in the Gemara. We did, correct. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Va'ato hasibaisa es liba machiranis, and you have turned the Yidden's heart away, which means that the Eibusher fulfilled what Eliyahu asked for, that the Eibusher diverted their attention and they accepted what happened as something that came from the Eibusher and they didn't look at it as Ma'aseh Shafim. Okay, so we begin a new Mishnah. So the Mishnah, so the first Mishnah, of course, we learned the halacha of Kriya Shema Shel Arvis. Second Mishnah will discuss the Zman of Kriya Shema Shel Shachris. When could you begin saying Kriya Shema Shel Shachris, and until when could you say Kriya Shema Shel Shachris? From when could you begin saying Kriya Shema Shel Shachris? And for the Mishnah, when you could recognize the difference between these two colors of Tcheles, which is blue, or it's the color of the sky, that color of blue, Lulavan. And white, the color white. It's light enough to tell the difference. Rabbi Eliezer Reime, ben tcheles lekarsi. When you can tell the difference between tcheles, sky blue, lekarsi, which is green. Karsi is leek green. So these two colors. Until when could you say? Ad hanetzachama. You could say Kriya Shema until netzachama, until when the sun comes up. That's the first opinion, which is a pretty short period of time. Mishayakir until Netz is probably about an hour. I believe, if I'm not making a mistake, now Mishayakir is about 6:20 and Netz is about 7:20. Rabbi Yeshua says, Ad shalosh shois. You can say Kriya Shema until 3 hours into the day. Shekain derech malachim lamed b'shalosh shois. Because the kings wake up later on until 3 hours in the day, so therefore it could still be counted as the time of Bikumecha. So you can say Kriya Shema as we paskin, of course, according to Rabbi Yeshua, that saves man Kriya Shema is until 3 hours into the day. There are two opinions about the pshat of Shalosh Shois. If anyone remembers, we did have before in a Rashi, I think it was Gimel Amud Beis, Rashi says Shalosh Shois means until the beginning of the third hour. But in the Psak Din La'alach and Rambam Shulchan Aruch, Shalosh Shois means until the end of the third hour of the day.
That was the two Mishmayos? What was that?
Right, correct, very good, someone remembers. Sagt the Mishnah weiter, Hakaire mikan ve'eleich. If you read Kriya Shema later in this time, Lo hifsid. Lo hifsid, there's nothing that you have lost out. Kadam hakaire b'teira. It's like a person that's reading any pasuk in Teira. Let me just mention a very interesting thing. When I get to the pshat of the Sinyan, that the Seif's man Kriya Shema is only until Shalosh Shas b'yom, so there's a famous question that the Achrayim ask on this, starting from the earlier Achrayim, the Kesef Mishnah and others, the Lechem Mishnah that talk about this. What's the difference between Kriya Shema Shel Arvis and Kriya Shema Shel Shachris? Kriya Shema Shel Arvis, it says B'shach B'cha, the Zman is the entire night. Kriya Shema Shel Shachris, it says B'kumecha, and B'kumecha only means until 3 hours in the day when people are waking up, and not B'kumecha, the time that people are awake the entire day.
They don't want you to sleep in. They don't want you to...
Chazal were smart.
No, but if kumecha is a verb.
Okay, so that's one of the terutzim. B'shach b'cha means when you are lying down, which refers to the time that you're lying down the entire night. B'kumecha means when you're waking up. That's one of the pshatim. But there is another pshat that it says. I don't remember now, I'm not 100% sure who's the one that says it, but it's from the earlier Achrayim that say this. That be'emes, just like the mitzvah of Kriya Shema Shel Arvis is the entire night, min atayre, Kriya Shema Shel Shachris is the entire day when your people are awake. And the whole zman that it's only at Shalosh Shois b'yom is midirabanan. Only midirabanan.
So what's
Wait, one more second, let me finish off. The Mishnah over here says that...
I can't let Bachman listen.
The Mishnah says that when you read later on, it's only Ka'adam HaKaira B'Tayra, and you're not Yaitz the mitzvah. If Min HaTayra, you could read the entire day. So the answer is similar to what we had before already, this concept. Chacham wa oike the mitzvah min ha-Torah. Just like Chacham wa oike the mitzvah min ha-Torah when you get to Lulav and Shofar, when it's Chal and Shabbos. Chacham wa oike the mitzvah of Kriya Shema past this time. And they said past this time you're not yaitz the mitzvah even min ha-Torah. Min ha-Torah though, that would have been the mitzvah. But Chacham wa oike the mitzvah. We had this shot before regarding Ad Chatzais that Chachamim said. That according to Rabbeinu Yoina, Ad Chatzais that Chachamim said, even though it's Gzeirim with the Rabbanon, but they were oike the mitzvah past Chatzais. So similarly over here, That's one of the pshatim.
Huh?
Why the Wa'ikir? That's a good question. So maybe the answer is like Alter said before. Huh? Okay, let me get invited to the Gemara. Sagt the Gemara, "Mai ben tcheles lelavan." What's the pshat in the Mishnah when it said that a person should be able to tell the difference between the color tcheles and lavan? Are you going to say the pshat is ben gvava da amra chivra, a fleece of white wool, legvava da amra the tchilta, and a fleece of blue wool? Needs to see the difference between them. In fact, the Gemara habalel yanami made the yadi. To see the difference between these two colors, even during the night, you can tell this difference. So this can't be referring to a time when it gets light outside. Ella rather, ben tcheles shaba lulavan shaba. You have one fleece of wool which has been dyed blue, but it wasn't fully, the color didn't fully get into every part of it, and there's some parts that are still white. So when you can see within that fleece of wool the difference between the blue and white that's in it, that's the time which it's getting light enough to say Kriya Shema. Tanya, now the Gemara brings other opinions. Tanya, Rab Meir, Mishayake ben Zev lekelev. It's when it's light enough, you can see the difference between a wolf and a dog. Rabbi Akiva says ben chamoir la'aroid, when you can see the difference between a donkey and an aroid, which is a wild donkey. Others say Mishayires chaveirei rochek dal dames, when your friend is coming towards you and he's in a distance of 4 ames, v'yakirenu, and you recognize him in that distance, which is the actual shear that's brought in Shulchan Aruch. This is the shear that's brought. Yeah. Omar Avuna halacha ka'chedim. As the Gemara says, the halacha we paskin like a chedim. Omar Abaye. Now Abaye says, l'tfilin. This is the shear for putting on tefillin in the morning. Ka'chedim. Like the opinion of a chedim, where you could tell your friend from a distance of 4 ames. Okay, maybe that's why that shear is said. Okay. L'kriya shema kivasikin. But however, to say Kriya Shema, you should say Kriya Shema like Vasikin. Vasikin means, as Rashi says, Anoshim, Anovim, Umechavim mitzvah. Humble people that cherish a mitzvah and do the mitzvah in its right time, which the Gemara will now say is Netzachama. To say Kriya Shema right before Netz. Rabbi Yechanan said, Vasikin, ho yugaimirin maisa ima Netzachama. They would say Kriya Shema right before Netzachama. Tanya Nami Yachi, we learned in Abraham as well. They would finish saying Kriya Shema right by the time of Netzachama, and the reason was so then right after that they say the Brach of Gal Yisrael, and they daven, begin immediately Shmai Nesra v'nimtza mispal bayayim, and they start davening right at Netzachama when the day begins. Amar Abzeira my kara, what's the source for this? Yira ucha, I fear you Hashem, im shemesh. As when the sun comes up, and also in front of the moon, and all the generations. But the Gemara here is darshaning only the first part of the pasuk. Yira'ucham shemesh. That's saying Kriya Shema is when the sun comes up. Hey, Rabbi Yosi ben Eliakim mishum kahala kadisha b'Yerushalayim. Rabbi Yosi testified in the name of the holy congregation in Yerushalayim. Kol hasaymech gula l'tfilah. Anybody that says Gal Yisrael and does not make an interruption and immediately begins davening Shmei Nesra, einay nizek kol hayom kulay, will not be harmed the entire day. Amar Rab Zeira, so Rab Zeira asked on this, Eini, or it's not. This is not true, or Eini. There's different ways that I read this. Eini, is this true? V'hana samchi v'itziki. I've done this. I've said it together, like we all do, and v'itziki, and I was harmed during the day. Malay, so he responded to him and said, "B'ma yitzikis, what is the harm that you experienced during the day? The amtius asal malka, that you had to take of your time to deliver an asa, which is a myrtle branch, some kind of a gift to the king. So Rab Zeira was part of some kind of a group of but whatever. He came with the people to come and deliver to the king this asa, and he had to take out of his time to do this, and that was the hezek, that was the harm that he had during the day. So he says to him, "Hasam nami mi boyalach l'meiv agra." You have to give a schar, you have to do something l'machzi apamalka, to be able to see a king. In other words, to come and see a king, as the Gemara will explain now, even to see a goyish king is a great thing. So the fact that you had to be matriach and take out of your time to deliver this myrtle branch to the king, this hadas to the king, that's not a hezek. Rabbi Yechanan said, "La'olam yishtadl al adam lorutz lekras malchi Yisrael." person should always make an effort to run towards to see a Yiddish king. V'loi likras malchi Yisrael bilvad, and this is not only to make an effort to run towards a Yiddish king, elafil likras malchi Yaakov, even to run to see a Goyish king as well. The reason is because if you'll be zeiche, which means you'll be zeiche la'asad lavai, to see the Jewish kings again, yafchin min malchi Yisrael and malchi Yaakov. You will then see the difference between a Goyish king and the greatness of a Yiddish king. So there's an inyan to go and see even a Goyish king. So therefore that's not a hezek that you had to go and do this. Amalei Rabballah said to Ula the following: Ki ailis lahasam, when you go there, referring to when you go to Eretz Yisrael, Shol b'shloime de Rav Bruna achi, go ask for the peace of my brother Rav Bruna, go and give regards to my brother Rav Bruna, b'maimet kol hachabura, in the presence of the entire group that he's in with. The Adam Gadolhu, Rav Bruna, my brother, is a great man. V'samach b'mitzvahs, and he has a great joy in doing mitzvahs. And he gave him a description of his joy for mitzvahs. Zimna chada. There was one time, Samach Gulul Tefillah, that he said Gal Yisrael together with the beginning right before Shemoneh Esrei, V'lei pasik chucha mipumei kula yaima, and he didn't stop from smiling or laughing the entire day. That was his excitement of a mitzvah.
So there's something, there's a deeper meaning to this.
Needs more.
Why? This
one time he did this.
No, Tosfos says.
the Tosfos over here says that he did it an oifen of a sikin. He didn't do it stam like we. He was saimech k'vasikin, exactly at that moment of Netzachama. Yeah.
In those days it was very hard to tell. No.
When the time of Netzachama is.
Yeah. It's not like today.
Sagt the Gemara weiter, Heichi Motzi Samich. This is a sugya that we had before already in the Gemara. How could a person say Gal Yisrael right before davening, beginning Shemoneh Esrei? V'ha'amar Rabbi Yochanan said, B'tchilu hu'ay ma'ashem svasai tiftach l'seif v'ay me'yi l'ratzim refi. When you daven Shemoneh Esrei, there's a pasuk you add before and there's a pasuk that you add afterwards, so you make an interruption. Amar Rabbi Lazar tehei b'tfilas shel arvis. We're going to have to say that this statement of Rabbi Yochanan to add that pasuk refers only to Ma'ariv. You only say Hashem svasei tiftach by Ma'ariv. Fragt die Gemara, v'ha'amar Rabbi Yochanan, ezeu ben olam haba, zeu as-saimich gula shel arvis l'tfilah shel arvis. He clearly said that being saimich gula l'tfilah applies to Ma'ariv as well, not only in the morning. And for the Gemara, elo amar Rabbi Lazar, tehei b'tfilas ha-mincha. You add the Hashem svasai tiftach only by mincha. But for Shachris and Ma'ariv you can't, because you have to be saimach gula l'tfilah. Rav Ashi Amar, and this is the answer we had already earlier in the Gemara, no, afilat taima kulu. You could add Hashem svasei tiftach by Shachris, mincha, and Ma'ariv. But we given the kavua Rabbanan b'tfilah, once Rabbanan established to say this before davening Shemoneh Esrei, ketfilah arichta damya. It's like one long tefillah. It's beginning of the Shemoneh Esrei. It's not an interruption. The Gemara brings a proof for this. The Ilay Teima Hachi. If you're not going to answer this way, Arvis, when it comes to Ma'ariv, Heichi Matzi Samich. How could you be Samich Gula L'Tfilah? V'habayil Meima Ashkiveinu. There's a second bracha that Chacham were masakin to say after Gal Yisrael, the bracha of Ashkiveinu. Ella over there, the answer is Kiven the Tkina Rabbanan Ashkiveinu. Since Chacham were masakin to say the bracha Ashkiveinu, Kigula Arichta Damya. The theme of the bracha Ashkiveinu is a continuation of the inyan of Gula. So Hachanami over here as well, Kiven the Kavua Rabbana B'Tfilah, since Chachamim established to say Hashem Svasei Tiftach as an opening to Shemoneh Esrei, Ketfilah Arichta Damya, it's part of the Tfilah of Shemoneh Esrei, and therefore it's not an interruption. Frag the Gemara, Mechti, let us see. Hi Yil Ratzin Imrefi. There's a pasuk that we say at the conclusion of Shemoneh Esrei. Yil Ratzin Imrefi, which of course means that Hashem should listen to the words that we just davened. Mashma lebesayf, this is a bracha that sort of fits in at the end. After you finish davening, you ask Hashem to listen to your to what you daven in Shemoneh Esrei. But umashma meikara, it's also a pasuk that's mashma that could be used as an opening, davening and asking Hashem to listen to what we are about to daven. The beina mashma lebesayf. Umashma meikare de beina lemeima, and it's also a pasuk that can be used in the beginning before we're about to daven. My time at the K'nur Rabbanon la'acha yudches brachos. Why were Chachamim masakin to say this at the end of Shemoneh Esrei? Leimir meikare. Let it be said in the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei, before you daven, you should ask the Eibusher that he should listen to what you're going to daven. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Berei Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi. So the answer is Hoyel v'loy Amrei David ela la'acha yudches parshias. So we're doing similar to what David HaMelech did. The pasuk Yil Ratzin Imrei Fi also does not come at the beginning of Tilim. It comes after Yudches Kapitlach of Tilim. So we also say it after the 18 brachos of Shemoneh Esrei. Lefichach, tekil rabban alacha yudches brachos. So therefore, Chacham was second to say it after the brachos of Shemoneh Esrei. Fragt the Gemara, Hani yudches? This is after 18 kapitlach. Yutes havyan. The pasuk Yil Ratzin comes at the end of kapitel Yutes, not after kapitel Yudches. And for the Gemara, Ashrei ha'ish v'lama rakshu goyim choda parshahi. Really, the two first kapitlach of Tilim of Ashrei ha'ish and lama rakshu goyim are really one kapitel. And the Gemara brings a proof for this. The Amar Rabbi Yehuda Berei Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi. We could see this based on what Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi. Kuf Gimel Parshias Omad David. David HaMelech said 103 parshas of Tilim. V'lei Oma Halaluka. And he never used the term of Halaluka to praise Hashem Ad Shera b'mapalasan shel Rishaim, until he saw the downfall of the Rishaim. Shenemar, and the pasuk says, and in Tilim, this is kapitel Kuf Dalid, Yitamu chatam min haaretz u'rishaim me'deinam. The sinners are removed from the land, and there's no more rishaim. Barchi nafsi es Hashem halaluka. So here he uses the term halaluka. So again, the same question is Hani Kuf Gimel. This kapitel is at the end of Kuf Gimel. It's not Kuf Daled Havyan. It's after the conclusion of Kuf Daled. Elashma mina. So what you see from this is Ashrei Ish. These two kapitlach are one kapitel, so therefore it's really kapitel Kuf Gimel. The Amar Rab Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar Rab Yechanan. Shmuel bar Nachmani said in the name of Rab Yechanan and Daf Yud, Kol Parsha Shayisa Chaviva al David. The Parsha or any Parsha which David HaMelech had a special love for. Pasach ba b'Ashrei. He began with Ashrei, V'siyim ba b'Ashrei, and he also concluded with Ashrei. And this refers to the first two kapitlach of Tilim. Pasach ba'ashrei, it begins with Ashrei, d'chsev Ashrei ish. V'siyim ba'ashrei, and it concluded with Ashrei, d'chsev Ashrei kol chosei bai. Because it says in the end of kapitel Beis, which according to what we're saying now is the conclusion of kapitel Aleph, it says Ashrei kol chosei bai. So we see that these two kapitlach are one kapitel. So there's a very long sikha of the Rebbe also on this Indian over here, and Chelik Yud Pashas Tail this, a very geschmacka sikha of the Rebbe in this Indian. I'll just say one very geschmacka word that the Rebbe there says, that based on this Gemara, you could see a remes to our minig to say a kapitel Tilim every year according to the age of the person. Right, the minig that's brought in the Friedrich Rebbe's letters. So the Rebbe says, if you look at the end of kapitel Ayim Beis in Tilim, it says, Kolu Tfilas David ben Yishai. This concludes the tefillas of David ben Yishai. According to what the Gemara says there, that's really the conclusion of kapitel Ayin Aleph. And David HaMelech lived for 70 years. So that was the kapitel that he was saying when he was 70 years old. And call it tefillas David ben Yishai.
Is this put down anywhere else, this minute?
No, not as far as I know. The source is the Friedrich Rebbe, and I believe the Friedrich Rebbe says that this was a minig of either the Baal Shem Tov or the Alter Rebbe. He brings it from the previous, Baal Shem Tov, The Baal Shem Tov, yeah. But the Rebbe here, according to this Gemara, says a geschmack source of this. In the Sikha there's a whole arichis about if the Gemara here is saying that it's really one kapitel, so why in our Tilim does it appear as two kapitel? Why don't we change it and make it one kapitel? So the Rebbe explains the whole arichis. Bisman abayis, bisman shebes migdash kayim, it's one kapitel, but bisman agolis it's supposed to be two kapitel. Hagan arichis, a very geschmack.